What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Hasbro Studio Series Transformers 1 movie Optimus Prime. So I found this randomly at retail and I said, let me check it out. It kind of looked cool in the box. Originally when I saw the images, I was not interested at all. But when I saw it in person, it did kind of look cool. There's a couple of things you want to do out of the box, but let me just first give Hasbro credit because they finally got rid of the tissue paper. I guess this is still a paper, but they wrapped it up in this instead of taping it up into tissue paper. This was a lot nicer, just easier to work with. And they've been doing the same thing for the G.I. Joe line, so it makes sense. So you're going to do a little bit of setup here. You can come and install these smokestacks. I guess they could have been used as guns too, but it doesn't look right without his smokestacks. So let's get those on there. And they are painted, by the way. And then come to the back, and this is the gun or whatever sticks out of the front of the vehicle. That will mount right here. So it actually goes up like this and pegs in like that. It's not the best connection, to be honest. You can get it in. It's just not a firm connection, I guess I would say. So get that pushed on as best as you can. And then fold the backpack down, and it sits down like that. And now we're ready for action. And he looks pretty good. Look at that head sculpt. I think actually it's pretty good. Better than I thought. It's got gray paint, blue paint for the eyes. And it looks pretty darn good. You have black paint here, translucent blue for the windshield chest. You have a little bit of paint here on the crotch. Same color as these smokestacks. Same color here on the shins. Yellow for the feet. Red here for the sides, whatever those will end up being. Here's the back. Let's go over the articulation. The head is on a ball joint. The neck joint itself can go up. You don't really need it because the head is on the ball joint and there's a cutout on the back of his head. They've been doing this more recently. Very smart. Because it gets you the full rotation. You get side to side and it rotates all the way around. And then, like I mentioned, you can move the neck piece too. Shoulder rotating around on a butterfly, actually sorry, a mushroom peg. Up to there on a hinge. You have a butterfly joint that gets you up to there. And that was surprising too. Rotation here at the elbow. 90-degree bend at the elbow. Rotation at the wrist. And I'm just going to set this aside because it's easy to knock off. But rotation at the mid-waist, not at the upper waist. It does look a little weird. If you go too far, he starts to get a little wonky. So there is fine. But there's nothing at this lower waist. It's actually locked in there. So just be aware of that. These hip skirts do move out of the way, but it's a single piece. I don't think that's the best way to do it, to be honest. I think you would have been better off just not having a hip skirt at all and just use what's underneath because it looks fine, but I guess for accuracy. Leg goes up to there, back to there, out to the side on a ball joint. This thigh is painted in that same goldish beige color. You have a rotation at the thigh on that ball joint and at the knee. Single jointed knee gets you past 90 degrees, more of that beige paint there. Ankle tilts, toe tilt down. Now for the accessories, I did mention you can take these smokestacks off, make them into guns if you prefer. But he does come with a matrix done in this translucent blue, silver, and orange paint on there. You can open up the chest, there's a little spot there. A little bit of molded in detail on there. This will plug in and store in his chest. So it looks fine. But even cooler is you can take this and these arms actually have a joint right in the middle, which allows you to open up the arms like this, which is pretty smart. I haven't seen that on a lot of Optimus Prime. And then there's a little slot in the hands, which allows you to put it so that he can be holding the matrix. Not a lot of Optimuses can do this, especially in more recent years, so I think that's pretty smart that they did that. And I'm assuming in the movie, which obviously we haven't seen yet, he gets the Matrix, becomes Optimus, and holds it like that, but I guess we'll find out. We also get the axe done in translucent blue. This will fit into his hand, and he can be chopping down some Decepticons. We can also take the axe and store it. There's a little tab right here. You can just plug it into the back. Store it like that. And I did mention these, but they like to fall down. Let me just see if I can get it all on there. Yeah, there you go. So you can stow everything if you want. All right, and one other accessory we get here, not really an accessory, but Studio Series comes with these backgrounds. So I imagine this is Cybertron from the movie, and you can put him here. Yay. I don't think anyone's going to do this, but you can if you want to. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Earthrise Optimus Prime. And you can see he is a deluxe class compared to the Voyager class here. So a little bit smaller of a scale. I don't know if he's smaller in the movie or if the other characters are even smaller, but you can see he's quite a bit smaller than the current retail scale for Optimus. All right, now let's get Optimus transformed into vehicle mode. And I was surprised, actually. It's a pretty involved transformation, but lift up the backpack, remove this if you haven't already. Just set it aside. We're going to use it a little bit later. While we have this up, we can rotate this around and let it sit up like that. Come to the front here. We're going to rotate the head 180 degrees, fold it flat, and then take the neck and tuck it in like that. We can open up these arms, open up your chest, and in here you'll see there's a grill, so fold that out. We take the waist, rotate this 180 degrees, bring this back down, take this crotch piece, that's going to fold up, and then fold your legs up at the hips, and we can tab those together, bring the feet down. You can kind of see those make the real rear tail lights, which is nice. Before we peg these together, bring this around to the other side. And that's actually his wheels. Faux wheels, by the way. And then peg that together, make sure it's straight. And then we'll come back to the front and finish up this. So open up these arms. This is going to fold in and kind of make the inside of there. And fold these down, and there's a tab right here that's going into a slot, another tab right here going into a slot on the side of the arm, and then this goes into the hand. So there's actually like 3 different things you're getting pegged in. In the instructions, it doesn't say much about the hand going into that peg, so I'm not 100% sure if it's supposed to, but it seems like it should because it fits. It fits right in there. All right, so make sure you get all those pegs. Same on this side. Rotate this down. It's tabbed in the 3 spots. All right, and then last step, take the top of the hood or the roof. Bring that down, that'll tab in and cover up those other 2 lights that were there. And then take this, and this is going to peg in to the front of the truck. It's a pretty firm fit, but you just push it in like that. Alright, there is Optimus in vehicle mode. Not too bad looking. It does look Cybertronian, futuristic. It does roll on these wheels. He doesn't actually have wheels. It's like supposed to be like treads or whatever, but he's got translucent blue wheels back here and then red wheels in the front. Here's the cockpit. That looks actually pretty good. Matrix is still in there. Got a little bit of yellow there for the grille. A little bit of paint there on the front. All in all, pretty clean. The feet end up being the tail lights, so that works. You can take the axe here and basically stick it between the knees, and that'll store right there. And actually, that looks pretty nice. So all in all, not too bad of a vehicle mode. And for a quick comparison, there it is next to the Earthrise Optimus Prime. Still a little bit smaller in dimensions, like I mentioned in the robot mode. There you go. So final recommendations on the Hasbro Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. I'm pleasantly surprised by this figure. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5. I'm going to recommend it. I was expecting the worst. I was expecting, cheap, swirly gray, all that kind of stuff. And you really don't have that here. There's not a lot of waffles, which you normally get with figures like this. There's a little bit here on the inner arm, but overall, pretty well done. The weapon works nicely. Overall, there's quite a bit of paint, which also surprised me. Transformations, kind of fun and, a little bit challenging, not necessarily just a straightforward thing. So a lot of things surprised me about this figure. Now, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know if it's a good movie or not. I do think this figure is pretty good. He's a little bit on the chunky side for an Optimus. So that's a little bit off-putting. But other than that, I think it's a really cool rendition of Optimus. So we'll see how the movie turns out. But that's it for the day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.